We are getting old.
My dream is to be a pilot. I want to be an architect.
Geologist.
You and I are growing further. You don't really talk to me.
Hey everyone and welcome. We're here with the One Degree Alumni Podcast, Episode 9, and for today we've got Anna with us. Hey Anna.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Thanks so much for joining. Let's just dive straight in, and maybe if you could just start off by telling us a little bit about when you were in One Degree and kind of like what memories you have of that time.
So I was in One Degree in 2016, 2017. And memories, I think they were like mainly fun. Like I liked how there was like a mix of like learners, like English and maths, and then there was like sporty ones, and especially like being an extra day with my friends was like a benefit as well, because I was like with them and the only day off was Sunday, so it was nice to like socialize in that sense. And I just like seeing people and connecting with like the mentors and everything. So yeah.
Did you find it was a bit of a struggle initially, like thinking about starting a program and having to go on Saturdays? I know you said obviously seeing friends and it's been helpful, but did it feel like it was helping straight away, or did it take a bit of time to get into it, or what did you think?
At the start, it was a bit of a struggle because like waking up early another day of the week, but I did get used to it, and especially because I still suffer a bit from dyslexia, I thought I wasn't gonna benefit a lot from it. I just thought I was gonna be like school, I'm gonna go in, understand a couple things and that's it, and then go home. But I was like completely opposite, so I was happy about that.
Oh, amazing. And sort of as you went through the program, have you got any other memories of the stuff that wasn't academic? You know, I know obviously English and maths was always our main focus, but can you remember any of the guest speakers or any of the like soft skills that you sort of learned along the way?
There was one speaker, I can't remember his name, but I think I engaged more in that, like in the sense of like I learned a lot from him. But no, I think maybe that one. And I think in terms of skills, I learned more confidence within like exams and like in myself as well. And then like going forward to like work experience and all that, like I gained a lot from that, because then I went 2 years later to a work experience that I had, and like One Degree did help me in that.
Oh, amazing. And then when it actually obviously got to your exams and stuff, did you feel, I suppose, a little bit calmer going into it, like you feel 100%. A little bit more prepared? Yeah.
I saw there was a different, like a huge difference from September to May when I like went to the exams, definitely, especially in English, even in science. Like even though we didn't do those subjects in science and in what was the other one, in history, like those two ones, I used all the techniques that I learned on those as well.
Oh, amazing. So it had like a knock-on effect into some other subjects. Oh, great.
Yeah.
And then, so you got through the stressful time of exams, and then I guess it was a whole new part of your life and the next phase and all that. So tell us a little bit about post One Degree and the next few years after that, what you got up to.
Yeah, so I stayed in the same school that I was in, and I did the IBTP, which is an International Baccalaureate Career-Related Programme, focusing in media. And I did other like subjects alongside that, and then passed everything, got into the University of Hertfordshire, did 4 years in focusing on media and journalism, got the degree last year. And during those 4 years, one of those years I went abroad to Spain, and I did a whole year abroad. And I think for anyone that wants to like study at university or even like travel, like I think traveling is like one of the main aspects that like after One Degree changed my life completely. Like I really enjoyed that year abroad, and I really enjoyed connecting with other people. So I think definitely either take the year abroad or go traveling. Like that's one of my tips.
Nice advice. And I mean, did you find that you were thinking back to times at One Degree and drawing on advice or things you learned on there as you were going on this new journey and the new time in your life?
Definitely in sixth form, I did like think about that during sixth form. maybe less in university because it was a complete different dynamic and environment, but 100% in sixth form.
Yeah. Okay. And so then what were kind of the feelings at that point in your life? So not quite up to where you are now, but, you know, just post sixth form, going into university, were you starting to think about where you wanted to be in the future and what kind of sort of pathways you wanted to go to at that point?
Well, not at that point. That point, if I saw myself in first year and what I had thought of when I would be where I am now, it wouldn't have been that. Like in first year, I wanted to be a journalist. I had it secured that I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to do sport or do a lot of interviews. But then in my final year, I did a very distressing topic. Like I did a like a what's it called, a story of a distressing topic for a few people, and that just put me off journalism. However, it did make me focus more on media. So there was a big change in that. Like in first year, second year, I knew where I wanted to be. I was like, perfect. I've got everything. I can improve on the skills. But then it was the final year that I was like, no. And I learned from that mistake, and I didn't like take anything. I wasn't too negative about it. Like not progressing with journalism.
Okay. And so you say you just got your degree now this year, is that right?
I got it last year. So in May 2023, I graduated in September 2023.
Amazing. How did that feel?
It was like surreal. I just remember like my parents were there, Natalia was there, and it was just so like weird walking up stage. Like I couldn't believe it. Like it was a moment of like, I actually finished like 4 years. Like it went super quick, super quick.
And then between graduating last year and where you're up to now, what have you been up to?
So I carried on the work I had during my final year, and then recently I've been like applying to so many jobs, and I've been getting the like knockbacks, but I have that mentality of rejections, redirection. And for now, whilst I'm still, you know, applying for jobs, I'm doing a couple courses on the side just to improve my CV. I'm carrying on as my old job, which was like a waitressing, like a small waitressing job, just for the finances. And then like I do want to eventually, hopefully soon, be in like a better job, like a media job or something along that industry.
And how are you finding the waitressing?
Quite difficult because it is quite like fast-paced environment, and the managers are quite like, they get quite angry quite easily, so you have to be like on the same level as them. So yeah, but I have improved. I suffered from dysphasia, I think it's called. Like my body, there's some things I can't balance well, and even waitressing helped me with that, because now I can, you know, take like classes in trade I couldn't like 2 years ago, and I can balance stuff, take more than 3 plates. So it has its pros working as a waitress.
I always found, one of the first jobs I had was in hospitality as well. And I found it really helped me with sort of people skills and dealing with difficult customers and stuff like that. Have you found the same kind of thing?
So many difficult customers. Like I think I have one every week, at least one every week. And then the odd week I had none. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is weird. But no, there's definitely one. Or like maybe like a difficult one, like in terms of food. And you have to like be confident with what you sell as well, and like make sure that you don't seem too fragile, because as soon as they notice you fragile, they like make the situation worse.
And tell me about the sort of the job application process. How are you finding that? Is that a bit of a struggle? Do you kind of are you treating it, you know, in quite a fun way, or how's that all going?
Well, last year I did take it as like okay, they don't want me, that's it, I won't apply anymore, and I'd take like months off not applying. But now I just like reread what I've written at cover letters and CVs. I might like tweak some stuff depending on the industry that I'm applying for. And then I just, as I said before, like I have that rejections, redirection, so I don't stop. Like I just go like 1% every day, and eventually like I'm getting interviews and everything, but anything that I see as like a lesson, I just learn from it and then improve on that. And I'm getting help as well from like external people, so like my parents' friends that are helping me a bit, like when I need it. So it's like good to ask for advice as well, which I took, like me asking for advice 3 years ago, I would never, but now I'm slowly getting out of that shell and asking more advice.
so difficult, isn't it? That whole, interview process and doing applications and starting from scratch, and you feel like you're getting somewhere and then you don't. It can be really tough. So I love that attitude, redirection attitude. Have you got any tips for any, young people, just looking for their first job or, similar age to you about what you've learned so far in that experience?
I say patience, like definitely have patience and believe that, you'll get somewhere, because although I haven't 100% believed that I will be somewhere, I do have like lots of patience, and it is frustrating and it is annoying, and maybe the one job that you really wanted you might not get, but then I would say maybe recently what I've been doing is going on small courses and getting like certificates so I can put on my portfolio, put on my CV, something to like back up and make me like a better like ideal candidate for them. So yes, I'd say patience and hard work. Like if you want it, go for it. If it's something that you don't want, maybe see what you can learn from that and then improve it for like the jobs that you do want. Because there was a time where I was applying for everything. I was applying for science jobs, for everything, and I thought actually I shouldn't be wasting my time. Though it's good because I needed it. I was quite desperate at the time. I say maybe focus on like what you truly want to do, and maybe do those like quizzes to see where you are, like where you see yourself most in. So yeah, and also take like hobbies to help your CV as well, because hobbies actually, I didn't know hobbies help like that much, but I heard from someone that helped me with my CV recently that if you put hobbies, it helps a lot as well, because it gets to know you like not professionally wise, like personally wise a bit.
Yeah, and I suppose then people sort of they look at that and they're also trying to see if that person's going to fit into the work environment, and then the hobbies kind of helps with that, doesn't it? They can sort of see, exactly. Oh, this person likes that or that, yeah. And what you mentioned some of the courses you're doing on the side just to boost skills in your CV. What are some of those?
So I'm doing the Santander Open Academy. I think it's for 16 plus or 18 plus. It's one of those two ages. And I did leadership one, I did the project management one and negotiation, and I'm now doing mindfulness as well. But I'm like just getting like small ones, and then in my free time, if I'm not doing anything, I'm not like going out and meeting people, I just do that when I've got like time during the day.
That's amazing. That's actually really proactive, and I mean that's going to boost your CV massively. I think that's a fantastic idea. And so where you are right now, do you feel like you're in quite a good place, and you've kind of you feeling quite positive for the future? No, right now I think I am. Like, although obviously I'd prefer to be in a good job, I'm taking like, as I said, like different hobbies, and I've done the High Rocks recently, which was a big, like it wasn't educational at all, but it helped me a lot in terms of my confidence. So if anyone wants to do that, I recommend obviously like train a lot for that. And I'm quite happy where I am now, especially now that it's summer as well. I've got like plans for the summer and like hoping to get like a proper, hopefully full-time job in September, October period time. And so obviously, you've moved away from the journalism side of things, looking more media. So what would that ideal job look like? Have you seen anything out there that you think, I'd be really good at that and I'd love to do that?
Well, anything in events, like event producer or events assistant, or actually like anything in an assistant, like maybe marketing assistant. It's quite big, like a broad range, because I do like events and I like editorial stuff, so like books and that kind of industry. And then there's as well like maybe sport industry that I'm like getting into recently a lot. And then obviously the events. So I think I've still got a range, hence why I need to maybe like pick a few to like focus on, but so far there's those like 3-4 like industries that I really like.
As you've started doing these interviews and the courses and waitressing and stuff like that, have you pinpointed any things that you think actually I'm really good at that and I really enjoy doing that aspect of the job, and other things that you sort of think, oh no, that's I need to work on that's a bit of a struggle? Anything that jumped out at you during trying all these things?
I mean, customer service, I really like. Obviously, it's when you get the different customers, I'm not actually like, I do need to improve maybe on like the tone as well of the person and seeing like what solutions to come up with. And then with the courses, I really enjoyed the mindfulness course and the leadership course. I don't want to be a leader. Like I work better if I have like a boss over me, like a manager over me, rather than being, I mean, in the future, if I'm a manager, that would be amazing. But for now, I think starting from assistant and making my way up like the ladder would be like the best way for me, because then I like learn everything from the smallest role and then to maybe like a mid role and then like settle there.
Nice. Okay, so if I could now, let's try and explore some sort of tips and advice you might have for, first of all, for sort of GCSE students. They're going into that difficult year. You know, you've been through it. You've now got the ability to look back on that time and sort of reflect quite nicely, especially with the mindfulness. You know, you probably can really start to analyze things quite nicely and learn from experiences. So what advice have you got from your time in GCSEs, doing GCSEs, and what advice could you sort of pass on to students that are going into that phase of their life now?
I would say maybe start from the beginning, I think, because I vividly remember it was December after the mock exams. I think I failed English or I failed maths, one of those two. And I was crying so much because I didn't put as much effort in it. So maybe start like slowly, obviously don't go full in because then it'll be super, super stressful, but slowly start. And I think one of my key advice would be organization. Like I wish back then I was way more organized than I was. And like I put like the most important things or maybe the most difficult things up, like important, like the difficult things as important or the most important things first. And then maybe, for example, with me, Spanish, I'm half Spanish, so it was easy. I didn't even look at that subject. So if there's something that you find super, super easy, maybe put that to the side for a bit, because I got into the habit of, okay, I like English, I'm going to stick to English. Whereas maths, I was struggling a lot. History, I was struggling a lot, and I had to focus more on that. So yes, I'd say maybe put, as much as it's annoying and, you know, I didn't want to do it at the time, put the most difficult things before, because then, like, you'll feel a lot of relief after that. You know, you focused on those and, you know, you can improve and get a better grade than you thought you would. Because I thought I was going to get 2 GCSEs and I got 7. So I'm happy that, you know, I got more than I expected. And I felt more confident by the end of like year 11, like walking out those doors. I was like, perfect, I've done it now. Yeah. And also, once after you finish an exam, leave it. Like, don't go over it. Don't do anything. Just leave it. It's done now. There's no turning back. That's also something that I did. I went back to it and I was like, oh, I could have put this. This was it. You know, after an exam, just put that to the side and go to the next exam, because it's exam after exam after exam. Like, don't dwell into what you've done already.
I love it. Such good advice. And then, okay, so I know you've sort of shared little tips and stuff along the way of your journey after GCSEs, but if you could sum up, giving some advice to someone who's, you know, 16 to 20, kind of that sort of period, and that part of your life, have you got any advice that you could sort of summarize into something?
I would say, well, this is something that I get told every single day, but it's like, enjoy the process. Like, just enjoy it. Like, as much as that, you know, I get stressed every day. Like I still get stressed like unto today, but, you know, enjoy it, every process. And I say enjoy every process. Do what you truly, truly like. And, you know, if that's an apprenticeship, if that's university, if that's straight to a job, you know, whatever you actually like, put like maybe your passion, maybe turn that not necessarily into a job, but something that you like doing. Because if you have something to look forward to after a job that you might not like, or if you work at a job that you love, it's good to have like something positive, you know, during the day to like look forward to, or, you know, that sort of stuff. Like, for example, me right now, I'm waitressing. However, I like going to the gym. I like, you know, doing other stuff. So I think of that. And then my day waitressing gets 10 times better because I'm like, okay, I've got something to look forward to.
Nice. Perfect. Oh, well, I mean, that's such a nice place to end. Thank you so much for sharing, you know, your story and your journey so far. And I look forward to catching up again in the future and seeing where you are and seeing if you've managed to get out of the waitressing side of things and into the media. But it's really been great. Thank you so much. You've done so well with your time so far, and really appreciate you, you know, spending some time to have a little chat. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
To everyone listening, you've been listening to One Degree Alumni Podcast, Episode 9, myself, Roger from One Degree, and Anna from 2016, 2017 era. So thanks so much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you next time. See ya. Bye.